Hello, my dear friends. Today, we are going to be looking at the browser developer tools, and we're going to discover the hidden gems that you may or might not come across before. So, I'm going to discuss all that I know about the developer tools in Chrome, the Chrome browser especially. I don't know what other browsers you guys use. I know some people use Brave or Mozilla Firefox, or even what's this browser called again? Or even Microsoft Edge. Yes, Microsoft Edge. But I use Chrome and Microsoft Edge to work. But we are going to look at the developer tools and some of the things that you may know and might not know, or might have come across or not come across before. So let's head on to the video. All right, I have a simple application over here, and the application has two inputs. That is the username and where the user puts in the password. So we are, of course, one thing you should note is whenever you're working, you should always have your developer console always open. Now, I am going to try to log in with this particular user's credentials. Let me look for that somewhere. Or where did I keep that? Okay. So this user's credential is this login, and his password is Salim. Let me not say it so that we don't disclose this user's information. Now you're going to try to log in. Oh, you have the wrong information. Somehow. Wrong credentials. Okay. Now, how am I going to start this? I'm going to start this by explaining the concept of the console.log. So the first thing you normally see is the elements. The elements are the first thing you normally see in any web page you visit, and that comprises of simple HTML tag that you know. So they have openings of this nature, like you have the div components, like whatever you use to build your web page, you see that in elements 4. Now, when you hover over these elements, you can see a little highlight that shows you what element you are on. And also, if you would want to do that in the web page, you will come over here where we see the inspect tool. So you click here. Now you can hover over the elements on the web page with your cursor. That's the first thing you need to know. Now, in the case of the styling or how the styles are, if you click on any of them, if you hover over any of them, of course, you see their values, their styling and properties. See, this one has the color of that and the font with the margin it was used for. If you click on them, there is another part on your screen that's under the element tab that says the H1, the element you clicked. It lists the properties and the values of the elements. As you can see over here, we have the color and the green. Then the text decoration is italic, but I think I changed that for some reason. Then, I'm not connected to the internet. I think that is why this did not load here, despite the credentials are the same. So let me connect to the internet. Let me do that one more time. All right, I'm connected. Let me try to log in one more time. Still wrong credentials. Okay. Let's skip that for now. Let me check for the credentials. All right, for some reason I wasn't connected to my database, so I think that should be resolved now. If I put in the user's credential, then I should be able to log in and see my notes. Let me try that one more time. Okay, so I am logged in. I'm logged in. This user is logged in. Then, okay, so if I wanted to, this is a simple application, note application. don't mind my UI because it's not that, it's just for educational purposes. So let's say we add a note and say JavaScript is good for you. JavaScript is good for you. Then we save that. It appears over here. Now the console is where maybe all the results that you plan to get, or all the results that you input in your console appears in the console tab over here. Now at one point in my code, there is a user state where whenever the user starts to input or giving these credentials over here, it keeps updating in the console. That is part of debugging to know if the code you wrote actually works. So that is what the console is all about. So we have the sources is almost the same way you organized your files in VS Code. Like for example, all this, you can see my files or the files that I used to create this particular project over here. Like now we have the component, and in that component we have Node.js, the code that I used to do that, the code I used to come up with this. We have notifications, that notification that gives you that the user's details is invalid. So this is basically what the sources is all about. Now the network tab, this has to do with all the files being exchanged through HTTP, or like if a file is being uploaded correctly, then you have a result. We have the 200 code 200. We have 401, which is for the page, or 404, which is the page not found. And if there are images or whatever, all of it will appear over here. So like for example, this is a status code for the notes that it shows us that the server was not okay. That's why we returned the status code 500 internal server error. That was when I was not connected to my database. That is where this error came across. Now, when I got connected to my database, I was given a status code 200, which is for okay. That shows that it went well, and it gave me my status code 200. Okay, this note over here is for when I created this over here. Yes, that's why we had a status of 201 created. That's a status code for a successful creation of whatever you wanted to do. Now, after the network, we have the performance, how long it took for the database to communicate with your server to return the request that you asked for it. Like for example, we have it took 1.5 seconds for a largest contentful paint ever. Then the native layout shifts. Don't know what that is. So, but this is basically how the interactions between you and the database or the project itself or the web page. This is how long it will take for you to get your information. So you see that in the performance tab. Now for the memory, I don't know very much about the memory, but if you do know, please let me know in the comment section. Now for the applications tab, I think this is all that have to do with how you use your web page on the browser. Like for the local storage, there is a point in this application where you have to save in. I'm supposed to hide this. You have to save in the token, the user's token, so that the user does not have to come over and over to log in. It's somehow stressful when you have to come for a site that you were in some few minutes ago and you still have to log in. So you create a time frame that makes the user's page still be open to him or her for a couple of hours. It can be 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes, whatever. So this application tab has to do with what you are saving into the browser, the information you're saving, like cookies. We have shared storage and all of those. That's what I understand by this application tab. Now, other ones we have privacy and security, which I don't think they are that important. But if you feel that it's important, you can let me know in the comment section. Now, that is all I know about the console or the developer tool. I don't know everything here, obviously. So, but you might know more than me. So you can let me know in the comment section. Now, thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Ciao.